Hi there, welcome back to One-Handed RC. My name is Doug. The cab is finished, finally. Well, there might be a couple little things to do, but for the most part, like 99% of it, it's done. So I'm very happy with this. It took me a lot of work. It's been, what, 4.5, 5 weeks since the last video? Nah, maybe 4 weeks. It's because these things take a long time. In all honesty, the first week and a half of that, after I got the main chassis done, I kind of took a break and I wasn't in the mood to do anything because I didn't have the truck here. It's actually over at my buddy's house. He's a 3D designer, printer guy. And so it's over there getting the side cabinets done. And because it's over there, it wasn't like in my view. So I didn't see it to work on it. And so it took me a little while to get going. And then once I started on this, then I was gangbusters on this. And then, you know, it was like 3 or 4 hours every single day I had to work on it. So this one's got a lot of time into it. So this is all paint. The only stickers that you see or decals, however you want to say it, are the BM Transport, the Griffin here, and then the headboard. Everything else is paint. And so it took me a lot of time to do all this. So, and then you can see some of the wiring up inside the top there for the, what do you call it, the lights. Wow, I'm really butchering this one. But yeah, it's done. And like I said, this is a Tamiya 770. I did it in the BM Transport livery, which is out of Ireland. Even though the style of truck that I'm driving or building tends to run in the Scandinavian countries, but I like this livery so much. Obviously, it's the second one I've done that I stuck with it. But I really like the combination trucks, the truck and the trailer. So it's a mismatch, but it's going to look good, I hope. So along with the chassis or with the cab, the front grille is done. So I did put in on a bottom spoiler onto it, chipped chin spoiler, just to give it a little bit more depth. Then each of the fenders, and the reason why it's not together is because the truck is over at Greg's house, at my buddy's house. So that's why I'm just showing you the pieces, but this is stuff I need to get done. One of the front fenders, and it's all wired up. Everything, the cab is all wired up. All the lights that are on here work. So it's pretty interesting. And then, you know, both the fenders, and then the bull bar, I do have to put the lights on here, but I got to wait till I get it all on the chassis so I can mount this and then run the wires and stuff like that. So the bull bar is just, you know, for decoration right now. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. Some things that I will say is the gray was the very first time I have ever used an airbrush. Well, not ever. I used one 20-something years ago. I'm not good. And I was supposed to on the real truck, this is actually a dark gray like it is, and then it fades. Well, trying to figure out the airbrush, well, let's just say I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to do the fade, so I made it solid. Also, another thing that I'm doing is I've always shot clear, 2K clear, so it's the two-part can, but it's in a can. So you can't adjust pressure or any of that kind of stuff. So I invested in a spray gun to shoot the clear. Granted, this is my first time using it. I'm very happy with it. Even the funny part is I'm being critical with myself because I see a couple runs and they're hard to see with this clear, but they're there. Where the 2K clear that was, and this is also 2K clear, but it's you got to mix it up and do all that kind of stuff, put in the hardener. And I actually did put in a reducer because I'm not worried about protection on this. I wanted it to lay a little bit smoother to give more of a show quality finish. So I'm learning, and hopefully by the next truck, because the next truck's going to be a pretty cool one. I've already got plans for that one. Parts are already coming in for it, and even though this one's not even a third of the way done, already making those plans. So hopefully I can get to the interior this weekend and start working on that, and then Greg should be done with the cabinets and all that stuff, hopefully within the next couple weeks, so I can get back on the truck part. So hopefully everything's going to go good, but I hope you guys like this. I do. And so we'll see you again. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you all later. Bye. Okay, so here we go. We get to start on the roof. I have to mount in this
This is a 3D printed piece because the original piece has like little windows for lights and stuff like that. And these are the little Michelin men that are going to go up there. I've got to mount and then drill all the little holes in the roof for all the wires to go down through. And I've got to mount the front headboard on and get that all lined up. So let's get rolling on this. Okay, so the lights are on and the roof is on. I just got it screwed in. I've got the sun visor on because I'm just trying to make sure I've got enough room for the headboard to fit in there, and it does, but I mean, barely. But yeah, it's going to work, and then we're going to have these little Michelin dudes going like on either side that'll light up. So yeah, let's get to mounting the headboard and making sure it's all good. Okay, so got the Michelin men on there. So now I got to work on I've got to trim a little bit back off the light bar so the spoiler can drop all the way down. I do need to drill a hole so I can get all those wires down in between everything, but got the Michelin men on the headboard and, so it's coming along. And that is because one of my other videos, we had the prototype spoiler. Well, this is the spoiler that's made for it. This is the one that's going to be used. If you really look at it, it doesn't look much different than a stock one. And that's what I wanted. But the thing is that these sides are a lot thicker on this than they are on the stock ones. So that way it can have this angle and look correct. So, some buddy of mine spent a lot of time designing this spoiler to look stock. So, but it looks cool. I'm really happy with it. Okay, got that all in and the holes are drilled. Now on the very front, you can see some of the wires sticking through. I am actually going to run those straight down and behind the mounts. And then this one, I lost the screw that hold that on, and it's such an odd screw that I just got something in there now just holding it. But yeah, so the roof rack's on, spoiler and everything with the headboard with the Michelin dudes. I don't get the Michelin dudes thing. That's over there in Europe. They do it on the trucks. I don't get it. I don't know if there's a meaning behind it or something. Maybe somebody could tell me because it just doesn't make sense to me. But, that's the style over there. So I'm running with it. Okay, so now I get to put in the lights. I got 7 of these. I'm going to mount. Greg, when he made this for me, he made this, guide. It just sits on there perfectly so I can mount all my holes or mark all my holes, drill them, and that way I can get these mounted. So let's get on that now. Okay, got them marked where I'm going to drill these black pieces. Probably going to tape them, drill them, something. I'll figure it out, but I'll get them marked and drilled and everything. Should be good. So this, excuse me, is everything that I get to paint for the cab. That's just the cab. That's not the interior. That's just the cab. So there is a lot there. I'm guessing probably around 30 or so pieces that I've got to paint. I just got done sanding it all with some 800 grit. That way the primer has something to bite onto. And then the 3D printed parts, I got them all sanded down to where they're nice and smooth. And going to hit them with some automotive primer on the 3D printed parts. I prefer to use regular automotive primer on 3D printed parts and not what do they call it? Sandable primer or filling primer. It's just really thick. And if you just spend 5 minutes worth of sanding on the parts, like this right here, you can see that this has actually gotten really smooth. So the Tamiya primer is a little bit too thin and won't really fill gaps really well. So for the 3D printed stuff like this and the front piece here, they're just sanded down real with 600 grit and the automotive paint our primer will bond onto this nicely and fill in the gaps. But then I'm on the regular pieces like the front grille or the front bumper, lower front bumper, whatever you want to call it. This is just going to use regular Tamiya primer. And it works just fine. But so right now I am going to go wash everything. And I am a stickler when it comes to just getting everything ready to paint is I wash everything twice, and I only use Dawn dishwashing or dish soap. I don't use any subpar brands or anything. I use what's known as the best out there, and that way it gets all the oil and everything off the plastics, so the paint will stick to it nicely. It's time for me to go wash everything. Yay. Okay, things are a bit messy here. Ran out of room to let all this stuff dry, so I had to put stuff out on my table. But everything is primered. All the pieces, you can see, of course, there's a big mess everywhere. And that's what happens when you have 30 or 40 pieces that you got to primer and get it all ready. So all of these pieces tomorrow will get sanded and primed again. Or not primed again, but some of them will get primed again. Like the 3D printed pieces will get sanded down and primed again. But yeah, so we got the cab and all this fun stuff and lights and the little air dam blockers. And here's the roof spoiler. The roof spoiler's base. You know, and all the side pieces. So all that fun stuff. So yeah, a lot going on here. And so everything's going to get white here soon. And then we get to start masking off for all the blue and the gray. So there's still a lot of work ahead of me. Probably 30 or 40 hours minimum just on this stuff right here. So, all right. Well, I'm done for the night or day or whatever you want to call it. Gonna go relax, take a shower, and chill. So we'll get back to this tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Okay, I painted everything. Everything is white. What do you call it? Just going over all of it. I let it all flash in the garage, and then it's kind of humid out, so I wanted everything to dry a lot better. So once it flashed and, you know, got majority of its fumes and all that stuff out of it, brought it inside. That way it's a lot, you know, the air's a lot drier in here, not so humid. And what do you call it? So it'll dry better, because tomorrow I will be masking off quite a bit of this to shoot blue on it. Now these pieces are still primered. Reason being is they are 3D printed. And so I wet sanded them and then shot another coat of primer on them. So tomorrow I will sand it again. And then I'm actually going to shoot Tamiya primer over it, just because this gray and the Tamiya primer gray is just a little bit off. And shooting white over it, I wanted everything to be uniform, the same. So that way, or the same underlying coats, so there's no shade different looking. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll shoot the regular automotive primer to build it up a little bit, sand it down, shoot some Tamiya primer over it to get that color, and then I'll shoot the white and then the blue, whatever it needs to get done. It should all be good. So next time you see this, I should be shooting blue. All right, later. The white shot. These are some pieces that need to have some taping off being done because there's going to be blue. Well, basically these pieces will be two-tone, blue and white. So I just got a little bit of taping off to do, and then we'll be getting on shooting the blue. So let's get on it. Okay, got a little bit of the blue shot on the pieces that are like two-tone that I had to tape off and stuff like that. Sorry about the lighting. I didn't set up for all that stuff to happen. And then some of the pieces that are just blue. And then in just a few minutes, I'm getting ready to sit down and start striping this sucker off. Not looking forward to that. That's not going to be fun. That's going to take me a long time to get this one done, and start masking on that one right now. All right, since I started, or I've done one of these before, I'm just going to attach these to the sides of that, and we're going to get to start taping off stripes. So first stripe is down, or stripes, or however you want to say it. There's going to be two different colors in there. What do you call it? Yeah, so let's match the other side now. So now, all the lines it's all striped out. So now I'm just going through, and I've got to fill in the little areas with tape. And this, you're noticing that's missing on the back. That's just, it glues on. So, but yeah, so now it's just the little cleanups of the little areas and get it all taped off, or the rest of the taping. And then we'll be going on to paint. So yeah, fun stuff. Again, that's my favorite word, fun stuff. All right, 4 hours later, all the masking's done. So I'm gonna shoot the blue here in just a few minutes. But yeah, you can see how everything's come out. And so this is gonna be blue. That's all gonna be blue, 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 blue. So lots of blue. Let me get on this fun stuff. And yeah, I got a big mess going on here. It tends to happen when I get working on projects. It just gets messy. And I try to clean up and give myself some room, but it always gets back to this. Okay, all the main blue is shot, all the bottom blue. Now I get to kind of assemble this because there's going to be some fading going on the next color that's going on, and I need it to flow into other pieces. So this is all going to get kind of assembled, and we're going to go from there. Now this is going to be the first time I've ever done a dual action airbrush to fade. So it's going to be a learning process for me. And if the next time you see this, if it's solid gray, dark gray, then I couldn't figure out how to do the fades. But if it's got a nice fade job, then I did figure it out. So hopefully let's get this thing together and I'll show you what I'm getting ready to do. Okay, it's all taped off, ready for the gray. Lots of taping. You wouldn't think, but just to clear off, and I made it to where I could just peel off and go to town real easy, but it still took me a couple hours to get everything ready. So, and why I had to put everything together is because there's going to be fading going on, and I needed it to, all work together. So, wish me luck. Here we go. Obviously, there's no fading in the gray, so I could not figure out how to do fading. Well, I faded a little bit, but then it just became so splotchy that I just wasn't going to learn how to do it on this truck. So I made them a solid gray. But I've got some cleanup to do. There are some edges that, bled through and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm really happy with this. This should come out pretty nice. I'm stoked. So on to the next step. There we go. All the everything's been cleared on the body. So now I just get to start assembling the grill. So these are all the pieces for the grill, and it should just take me, I don't know, probably about 15 minutes or so to get this all built. So let me get on it and show you what it looks like when she's done. Forgot to mention this piece right here, this Scania. This is going to go in there, so it lights up from the back side of it. And I'll show you, I'll solder on a resistor and I'll do it. And then I've got to put in these little lights also in the grill to light up front. So let me get on this. I just forgot to show you that stuff, but yeah, I'll get it on. Okay, I have to solder in some resistors. I don't know if you can see this. Let me get a hold of it. Little itty bitty thing. There's one right there already set up in my holder. So I got to solder these on to the lights because these run, I believe it's less than 3 volts, where my system is all like 7 and 8 volts. So I've got to get, or like 8.4 volts. So I have to get resistors to bring the voltage down so I don't burn up any lights. So let me get these things soldered in, and then I can show you what they look like when they're working. Okay, here you go. Now, I use a 9 volt for testing everything. It just makes life easy for me. So I'm just going to put this right here. Just hold it. And the first one, I don't know which one's going to light up because I tend to run everything, all my negatives in black and all my positives in red. And then I test with the 9 volt battery before I hook them up just so I can see. So it just makes it easier instead of doing a whole bunch of different lines and wires and writing everything down and what color's what and everything like that. I just do red and black and then test it, find out what it is, and then hook it up. So like that right there, that is your little fog lights. And then the other one, let me get that hooked up. That should be front Scania light. So these are good. So let's light everything up. Let me get these connectors together. There we go. So that looks pretty good. I like it. I'm happy. So on to the next project, or not project, but next piece. Okay, so after I got the front grille done, I started working on the roof and putting the roof lights together and the headboard and all that stuff, and I get to start the wiring now. So just so you guys can have an idea of, that's all the wiring. There's what I can tell you actually. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. There's each of these has 2 different colors in them and 2 different wires, or 3. Well, 2 different wires because you got a negative and then you need 2 positives. So there's 2 in there. So there's going to be 12 lights just right there. 13, 14, and then this one's 15. So 15 lights just right in that little area. So I'm going to get to soldering, getting this sucker together. Okay, out of all those wires, you can see I got everything soldered together. So got all my positives and then my 1 negative. But technically, this is actually a positive. The way that the Beyer systems work, the sound system that I'm putting in, is that the positive is actually the ground. So all the positives are wired together in one line, and then all the negatives are separate for each function. So depending on what I want it to do. So let me set this all up, and we're going to test everything after I got it all soldered in. Okay, let's get to testing. So I've got my wire. I'm holding it on there. So I'm just going to test each one, and you're going to see different functions happening. So, and I don't know which is which. I find out just like you do. Okay, that is going to be the what's called a headboard. There's actually going to be a sign here that gets lit up from behind. So that's the headboard, so that's good. And then this one, let's see what these are. Okay, those are the Michelin men. And like I said, these will all be in the lights up top. So that's all your main fog lights. So that looks pretty good. And this should be the blue outline if I hooked it all up correctly. Bingo. So everything's good. So, yeah. I don't think... Oh, wait. I still got lights to put on the spoiler on the roof. So, let's get to that next. Let's start working on that. So I had some problems with this panel. Got a little bit of gray in here. And I'm pretty sure I touched it before I shot the clear and it messed it up. So I scuffed everything up and I'm getting ready to tape off the stripes. And so I can reshoot this area in here, and then I'll reshoot the clear to fix it. So a mistake, my part. I screwed up. So let me get on this and fix it. So while that paint's drying, I am going to solder up and put in 5 lights in here. I was going to get started on the spoiler for the cab, but I forgot to paint all of the lights for that. So that stuff's getting painted right now, or actually drying. And so I still have the blue to shoot. I've shot the white on the lights, and so I'm going to shoot the blue over that. That way I have a consistent color all the way on everything. So I'm just going to get to soldering and putting the lights in this front visor. Yeah, I made like, I don't want to really call it a jig. I just put, you can see like the lights in those spots. I actually just got them taped down kind of in their positions, because when I get to soldering this stuff, I'm going to get kind of aggressive with it and kind of bend things and get it how I want it. And I don't want to tear this up while trying to do all that. So I can solder all this in place and then transfer it over onto this. So wish me luck. Okay, so got everything in. What do you call it? I use micro crystal clear. I really like this stuff because it dries clear. But it does take a couple hours to dry, so I've got everything taped up right there, but I want to check to make sure that everything works. Hopefully. I should do this stuff beforehand, but I don't. So let me hook up battery, and let's see what we got. Hopefully there's 5 lights. And yeah, and oh wait, my hand's blocking it. Okay. So over in Europe, they run those as white. Where we here in the US run them yellow. So I'm trying to make this thing as correct as I can. I'm pretty sure I might mess up a light or 2 here or there because it's just not something that I'm used to, or that we're used to over here. So got that all done, and this was everything in the back. You can see it. I use hot glue to glue it in. It works extremely well. Then I'm going to, in just a minute, I'm just going to cover, I take like flat black paint and just cover these up. That way I don't get light coming back through the back side of it. So I'll get that taken care of, and then this will be done. So, I mean, it's done. I mean, once I pull the tape off in a couple hours, that'll be finished. There'll be nothing else to do to it. So, visor is done. On to, I don't know what's next, but I'll figure out the next step. Okay, mirror time. Just get the glue, nothing special. Just get the glue in. But like I said, the microcrystal clear, this is the way to do it. And you don't need much. It's just a couple little drops on each like corner or what have you, and it's good. So let me get the mirrors put on the door handles into the cab and the window things. Got a lot of stuff to glue in and get going. So let me work on this. Okay, just got done soldering in the speaker wires. When you get the Bayer system, it comes with this wire right here, but you can see that I added to it. When you're doing the Euro trucks, this wire will make it all the way down from where it mounts at the top of the cab here. And it sits right here. And you need the longer wires for it to reach down across the back and give you plenty of room to be able to remove the cab and to unplug it. So it makes life a little bit easier. So all I do is I just take and add, what did I do? About 8-9 inches of wire. I just cut off a couple of, wires that I had for LEDs that I didn't use, that I just cut the wire off and then just hooked it up. And so I'm going to put the speaker in and we're just chugging along. Okay, so the speaker's mounted. And then I also put in some LEDs for interior lights. You really can't see them too much, but they're going to be blue in color. So when they light up, actually, you know what? Let's just set this up and then I can show you, because honestly, I haven't even checked myself. So let's see if we're good. I got to find the wires because I put everything. See that? Yeah, blue lights. So the interior is actually going to be white in this. So it's going to give a nice glow to it. So hopefully that turns out well. And okay, you remember how in the past, how I said I take black paint and paint the back side of these because the light comes through? Now this one I'm not worried about because the top goes on, it's going to cover it up, you're not going to see it. But in other situations, I will paint those black so you don't get any light bleed through on the back side. So turn that off. Actually, you can see I did it here on this one. I painted all those black on the visor. So that way no light will shine through the back side of this at all. And we'll be good. So now I got to figure out what's next, because we're getting close to the end of the cab being done. Not far off. Okay, got this piece fixed. Remember, it had that dark gray in here, so all I did is I just taped off at the lines, just did a fine line, and then reshot this white, and then reshot the clear. And yeah, I know there's a little bit of a run in the clear, you can hardly see it, but I am learning how to shoot the clear, because I have always used, yes, I'm using 2K clear, and like I've always used in the past, but I've always done it out of a spray can. And to where this paint job is actually out of a spray gun, using automotive paint, or automotive clear, to where I'm mixing it and having to do all that stuff. So I'm learning. So the paint job is not perfect. I mean, the funny part is it's still better than the 2K clear that I got out of the spray cans. So I'm not complaining, but I realize that I can take my paint jobs to the next level once I learn how to do that. And they'll get better as I go. So let me get this put on, and then I got to put on these little trims, glue these on. And then I'm going to get to some other LEDs and fun stuff. So let me get to getting all this stuff together. So here's something fun and interesting. Left-handed, when the driver's on this side, these windshield wipers are correct. But because I'm switching this over to right-hand drive, these windshield wipers are incorrect. And they need to go from this side over to here and swipe up this way. Well, You can see it doesn't have that availability to do it. And the last truck I built was right-hand drive, and someone called me out on this. So because I can't fix that, I have got this piece right here that just goes up. It will mount, and it covers up the windshield wipers. So that way nobody can give me a hard time about that. So that's what I'm going to do next. Put these on, and then I'll get to gluing these on. I got to do a bunch of gluing for all this stuff. But yep, fun stuff. Back on it again. And you can't see the windshield wipers anymore. So that way nobody knows if it's right-hand or left-handed windshield wipers. Unless they're on, but these aren't functional, so I don't have to worry about it. So on to, I got to put in some LEDs in the front fenders now. So let me get on those and show you what I'm doing. Okay, what I'm doing next are, these are little marker light turn signals. That's these holes right here. It's kind of interesting how Tamiya makes all these spots for you to put lights in, but their system doesn't work with them. So they're thinking ahead and letting people, add and stuff like that. So the lights are going to go right here. That's a turn signal and a running light. And then these are little lights that actually just glue right underneath here. And actually, this one goes here. And so, and those are going to be lights as well. So more lights, more stuff. So I'm going to get on, I got to solder all this stuff in and put on resistors and stuff like that, and then test them. So let me get on this and get these fenders done. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but let's start testing some stuff. So I've got, I'm just going to go ahead and ground both sides because it just makes life a little easier for me. And so I'll just put both those right here. So I'm going to start checking. So I should have, okay, those are stair lights. This one, okay, that's turn signal. So this one's going to be the other fender. Stair lights. And there we go. All four lights are working. So now on to this. I get to start putting a whole bunch of lights in that. Wish me luck. So 3 down, 4 to go. They will adjust, so I'll get them straightened out when they get on the truck. So yeah, 3 down, 4 to go. Just running wires through and, having fun stuff. So let me just work on this, but just wanted to show what I'm doing. And there's going to be little watermelon lights. I don't know if you can really see that or not. I don't know. But they'll glue right in the front there. So I'm just getting all this stuff in, and then I got to solder it all up. So next time you see it, hopefully it'll be done. Actually, that didn't turn out to be so bad. Now this, on the other hand, though, this is going to be fun. Actually, it's not that bad. I'm just going to be tying all the positives and all the negatives together and just creating 2 wires total. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Let me get on this and get it all soldered up. Okay, all of them are soldered in. Let's test. Let's hope I get 7 lights. None. Oh, because it slipped out of my hand. Hold on. Okay, here we go. 7 lights. Let's do this again. Bingo, 7 lights. We're good. So I got to put the watermelons in the front, and then I'm going to take all that and clean it up and get it all zip tied down and get it out of the way and get it on the truck. So we're trucking along, no pun intended. All right, time to do the headboard. That's going to be this piece. And then this, it goes up front. The thing is that when I went to go put this on before, I realized, and stickies, that's who I got these from out of the UK. Stickeez. Stickies. These decals are vinyl. They are not like printed out. These are cut and everything, and they are a little bit pricey for their decals, but let me tell you something. They are worth every single penny. These decals are by far the nicest I have ever seen. So check them out. They're out of the UK, Stickies, and give them some love. All right, let me get on this thing and get this put together. Oh yeah, that came out really nice. So I just got a couple pieces of tape because I used the liquid crystal clear you've heard me talk about. So it takes a couple hours to dry. So I'm just holding it in the spot while it's drying. So now we've got the headboard on there. So let's get on just a couple more things and then this thing will be done. Okay, you see something that small, if I can get it in focus. That is a windshield wiper cap. And this is how particular I am. This does not come in the kit. So I ordered this and it is going to go right in this spot right here on the fender. So I got to drill a hole for it. Man, focus sucks. So I got to drill a hole for it. But yeah, just a simple little windshield washer fluid cap I'm putting on there. So it adds to the realism. To say I'm super happy with this is an understatement. The body just came out, or the cab came out phenomenal. You can see some of my wiring up in there. The spoiler. I do have to put that plug in there. I do have it. I just need to glue it in. But yeah, the cab really came out nicely. So like I said, I am super happy with it. So hopefully the interior is going to be the next video. And that one shouldn't be too long. I mean, yes, there's a lot involved, but nowhere near what's involved with this cab. This was a lot of work. So, what do you call it? Hopefully you guys have a great day. Like and subscribe. And please, give me a thumbs up. Well, I did say like. But please, give me a thumbs up. So, take care of yourselves and later. Bye.